What's up, guys? And it's me, Lumos Theromax. Been gone for a minute, but we got to get back straight into this because we've missed on some really entertaining stuff, and I hope you guys are ready for it. Originally, this video was going to be two separate parts, but I just wound up separating them into two separate videos because I felt like they were both interestingly enough worth their own view and time. So this video is going to be about who exactly is Nathan Broome and the new Latnern Corps that's dropping. I hope you guys are ready. That being said, be sure to like and subscribe, just like all the Theromax Corps homies and Theromax Corps members that I have down low join that action as well. So let's talk about this new Sorrow Corps and exactly how we got here with this whole action. So who exactly is Nathan Broome? Well, to explain Nathan Broome, we've kind of got to step back a little bit and explain some more of the GL mythos for maybe some of the people who aren't as adept inside that field. So Nathan Broome is the current person inside a relationship with Karl Ferris. Well, who's Karl Ferris? Well, if you know anything about Green Lantern, Karl Ferris is Star Sapphire, an on-again, off-again relationship with pretty much Hal Jordan throughout his entire history, and even Kyle for a little while, because she just be like that and got tired of Hal for a while. But as usual, her love for Hal is just indomitable, and she always comes back to him. And that ongoing story arc is unironically what doomed Nathan Broome, this individual man. Because while Hal was running around the last few years playing as Green Lantern, Carol moved on with her life. And when she moved on with her life, she found Nathan Broome. And she was very happy with her life with him, but unfortunately, the universe, just as it calls to Hal Jordan, also calls to Karl Ferris. During this run, on two separate occasions, has Hal Jordan cockblocked this guy from actually getting down with Karl Ferris. First time was when they paid for an all-expenses trip across the United States, and the nightmare event that happened a while back kind of cockblocked the middle of that trip. And this time, the most recent time, seems to be no different, because they decide, fuck it, we're just gonna go get married in Las Vegas. They go to Las Vegas. They wind up at this Superman-themed chapel, which was super funny. And as they're there, he's like, okay, let's get married. We're picking rings. We're literally gonna get married faster than a speeding bullet. And in the middle of that conversation, the Star Sapphire ring shows up and basically informs Carol, like, hey, your true love is in danger. Hal Jordan's in danger somewhere out there. And so she's forced to fly off and find it. Well, teleport technically, because that's what the Sapphires do for their true loves. And she teleports off to save him. But that leaves Nathan Broome, this guy who's just been cockblocked at every turn, kind of not a lot. And in his sadness, in his self-loathing, his misery, we see him form some sort of new corps, the Sorrow Corps, or at least that's what's implied by the name and by the emblem that he has on his chest, which appears to be like some sort of twisted form of a teardrop. That's kind of who Nathan Broome is. He's just this dude who feels like he was robbed by people like Hal Jordan, right? That did everything right and just got boned. This is something that fans have asked for a long time, the idea of sadness as an emotional concept, because in the before times, I think that the way we looked at the emotional spectrum was, if it wasn't stated as one of the emotions, it could be an emotion. It's just not significant enough to be even labeled as like a cosmological emotion, if that makes sense. Well, clearly we are turning that around, and we're no longer saying like sadness is just rage at oneself or other people. No, we are designating an exclusive core for that. And that makes me wonder, whenever it comes to you guys, what do you guys think like the powers of a sadness core would be? Because there's all sorts of really interesting things that I think you can do with a sadness core. And I am a little worried that we're effectively just going to have like a throwaway core, kind of like how we did with the ultraviolets or even like the gold lanterns, which is something I'm really hoping they avoid. GL was always at its best whenever we had all these different cores, each one having a unique place inside the mythos and a power set that separated them from the other lanterns, even though they are somewhat similar. So I'm really hoping that they make this core live up to the glory days of the cores back in the day, and they give sadness some rep on the emotional spectrum. But power set wise, man, there's so much you could do. Like the blue lanterns are hope, and they empower people. Wouldn't it be crazy to just see like sadness lanterns just be able to nerf people and their emotions and like just infect people with like sadness hacks? That would be low key. I think that would be like the biggest thing I would touch up upon, is like the infective nature of sadness and sorrow and misery that it can have on stripping people of their willpower. John Stewart being like a prime example throughout history after he blew up Xanshi, right? About how his willpower has always kind of been up in the air as a result of that. So there's a lot of really interesting things you could do for a Sadness Corps. But like, what exactly does that mean for the emotional spectrum as a whole? Well, it means the emotional spectrum is getting a lot bigger. We're adding an entire another emotion, and from what we don't technically know yet, but I would imagine that this is out of the positive side of the emotional spectrum, like the crisis side of the spectrum whenever it comes to like the unique power sets inside of DC. So I really hope that we get more of that, and it's like a consistent Lantern Corps and Lantern like power set from this moment on. I'm really hoping that we maintain that. But the real question is like, why now of all times? Why are we just now discovering the idea of like another Corps? Well, I mean, it's DC, it's comics, you're always going to be developing and adding things to it, but I really do feel like there's a reason why we're getting this Corps now, and this is going to tie into what exactly this means for the story overall at hand. So the current arc we're in deals with this guy named Premier Lord Tharos, and Premier Lord Tharos is this guy just hell-bent on effectively controlling everything in existence via the Source Lantern, this battery made out of pure source energies from John Stewart. And I think that this dude has been trying to unlock a billion different of these cores so he can step into the Source Lantern and control all of existence. Well, weirdly enough, I think Nathan Broome and the Sorrow Corps are going to like cock block him in an unbelievable way whenever it comes to accessing that. Because in order for him to access everything going on inside the Source Lantern, he has to access all the separate Lantern cores. There could be no other batteries that exist out there. And that's the next question is, if this guy became a like Sorrow Lantern, that ring found him somehow. Someone made that ring. And as a result, there most likely is another battery out there, and all of this should affect Lord Premier Tharos and his attempts to control the universe. So there's a lot going on whenever it comes to like another Corps being added. It doesn't feel like it's just a one-off. It feels like it's actually impactful, and it's going to affect the larger story at hand. So really looking forward to it. But honestly, that's the sad part, because that's all we really know about Nathan Broome and everything about the Sorrow Corps up into the current moment. I'll be covering everything whenever it comes to the Lantern stuff as time goes on, because I'm really enjoying this current Green Lantern run, although John Stewart has kind of fell off pretty hardcore in my opinion. But I'm really looking forward to continue covering everything to go on with this specific comic, man, because the guys who are writing this are dropping pure fire, and I'm actually trusting them for the first time with GL. And it doesn't seem to be doing me wrong. But tell me what you think about the new edition of Nathan Broome and the Sorrow Corps. Was this a good idea for DC to introduce? And don't forget, what powers would you give a Sorrow Corps Lantern member? Tell me down below. I'm super interested to hear exactly what you guys think. But the next video I'm going to follow up on is what exactly is going on with Kyle Rayner, because Kyle Rayner is going through some stuff right now. Later, Lanterns.
Aftermath, you'll join my list of dead after I tear you in half. And I laughed at the thought of them controlling me. I'm the ultimate dragon that spawned everything. I resist and defy.